Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and today we're going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff if it comes to fruition. Apparently there are new leaks about Helldivers 2 coming to Game Pass, and it's no longer going to be a Sony exclusive if the rumors are true. We're going to go over all the compiled rumors and what you guys need to know. But without further ado, let's talk about Helldivers 2 and Xbox. So this is pretty breaking news and pretty big news in the world of Helldivers, and this is actually being reported by Gamerant, who actually broke this all down about how Helldivers 2 is coming to Game Pass this month, possibly even the last release of July. And it's all going to be a secret explosion going on, and it actually is all thanks to this clip right here that I'll play right now, where Boomstick, a notable Xbox insider, breaks down what he has heard and what many others have been hearing.
Yesterday, right before we closed out, I can't say on the air what I have heard. It is a secret. I am not going to break trust with the people that told me.
I heard it too, boy.
Keep it to yourself, C Money. Because if what I heard and what C Money heard, and Kay Asante, and Paris Lily, and Hargeet Chani, I'm gonna tell you this right now, folks. I'm telling you this right mother effing now. It's gonna break the internet if true.
I want to cry.
It is going to snap the internet in half if what we heard is the last game launching into Xbox Game Pass. Yes. It is going to break backs like Batman and Bane. Yes. But I can tell you one thing. It is going to be the last game, the biggest game, released in July for Xbox Game Pass at the end of the month. And all I can say is that it's playable on PC and PlayStation and released this year. That is all I can say.
So as you can see there, he talks about a pretty big game that it is a PlayStation exclusive moving over to the Xbox Game Pass system. This makes a lot of sense because not too long ago, we also heard something from another Xbox insider saying that there were preliminary talks about Helldivers 2 coming over to Xbox as well, thanks to the new CEO. And I'll play that clip right here so that there is even more information.
We know that PlayStation has a new CEO at the moment. I think the CEO might be a little more open to certain things. So what I've heard, it's just a rumor that I've heard, is that there may be some very, very early preliminary discussions about the possibility of Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox.
Now you might be saying this is all just rumors and circulating stuff, but that is a lot of Xbox insiders hearing the same exact rumors of PlayStation moving games over. And it's not only just that, but Sony CEO has actually made it very clear in a recent interview where he responded to a question from an analyst during a financial call. He said that in the past, the company wanted to popularize console, but there is a synergy to it. According to him, if a console maker has a strong first-party content, not only on its own console, but also other platforms, first-party can be grown, and that can help in improving the company's operating profit. This makes a lot of sense because the publisher of Arrowhead's game is actually Sony, which means that Sony would make a ton of money by bringing it over to Xbox, especially since recently, well, they did that whole PSN network thing and lost a ton of player base, including up to 90%. And the problem with that is that the PSN network is still having a requirement in certain regions that cannot access it, so that it is doubtful, according to other reports, that Helldivers will ever go up to the numbers before it enacted that requirement. Meaning that the only way that they can go ahead and pump numbers back up and make it a very profitable live service game that they were hoping for it to be would be to expand its player base by moving over to the Xbox marketplace as well. It also makes a lot of sense because, well, Xbox has recently announced that 4 games are actually coming to PlayStation from the Xbox exclusive content. In fact, Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, even in a recent interview said, I will say, when I look at a game like Helldivers 2, and I want to be very clear, it's odd that he would specifically mention Helldivers 2, but anyways, he continues to say, it's a great game. Kudos to the team shipping on PC and PlayStation. I'm not exactly sure who it helps in the industry by not being on Xbox. If you try to twist yourself to say like somehow that benefited somebody somewhere. So it's very clear that Xbox has had their eye on getting Helldivers over as well, and the PlayStation CEO wants to go ahead and move certain games over. Now, it's very clear that this isn't going to be a game like Spider-Man or God of War, which are console movers for PlayStation. They literally sell units, and it's very important that PlayStation keeps those games specific to their marketplace so people do buy it. That is what that synergy the CEO of PlayStation is talking about. However, for a live service game, you really want to get it to as many many players as possible because there are transactions in it, such as armor pieces and super credit sales, that you are going to want to get in front of as many people as possible. You don't have that same thing with Spider-Man, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, because those are single player experiences that aren't loaded up with microtransactions. All of this makes a ton of sense, and it will be interesting to see if this is actually what ends up being the big PlayStation game. I couldn't think of any other game that Boomstick could be alluding to that would be one of the biggest games for PlayStation this year that he would be talking about coming over to Xbox. It could always maybe be like the Final Fantasy Rebirth thing, but I just don't see that being a possibility. There's not much in it for Sony by moving that over to the other console. A live service game makes a ton of sense when you look at all the other ones, such as Apex Legends, Fortnite, PUBG. They're all cross-platform because the publishers realized by selling the most amount of microtransactions, they are going to make the most amount of revenue possible. And with Helldivers player count dropping, it all lines up perfectly for them to bounce back and make a ton of money like they were planning on. Let me know down below, what are you guys' thoughts on Helldivers 2 possibly coming to Xbox? Do you think it would help revitalize the player base? And do you think it would be a good move by Sony? And don't forget to check out this video right here and this video right here where I cover more news and information on Helldivers 2 and other games. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by and keep spreading democracy.